Morning.
Good morning. Amin? This is not working.
Hello, Carlos. Can you hear me?
Loud
Yes,
and
very
clear,
well.
Amin.
Okay,
Very
great. Razia, I can hear you as well. Good. Just had to switch
Where's
on my headset.
Johari? Where's Johari?
Is Johari in the waiting room?
How? Okay.
I did allow him to join.
Yeah, I joined.
Because I
included as well.
invited him as a speaker, but with another email address. That's why he had to
okay.
wait.
Yeah. All right.
But Amin, did you start it right away, the webinar?
I did not start it. No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I started, and then I saw somebody else started as well. It's a little bit confusing.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Because usually we would start at 9, but yeah, it's
okay.
So we all.
I thought we are testing.
Yeah. So we are
It's
already live,
test.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But everybody else is on mute and no chat as well. Only during the meeting, the chat will be available.
Yes.
Okay, so people are coming in. Welcome, everyone. We're taking some more 2 minutes until 9 o'clock in Europe and your respective time at 2 and 3 in Southeast Asia. So we'll be starting in 2.
Isabel, Johari is not able to unmute his mic and also the camera. Could you please help?
Yes, just a second. It should be working now.
Okay.
Allow me. I don't know.
Okay, Johari is in.
Hello, everyone. I'm still not able to share. Isabel, can you check? Sorry.
You should,
Meeting organizer and presenters can share.
but you should be a presenter now. Did you? Wait, just a second.
Yep, it's all right, Isabel. No problem.
Can you test again if you can share?
Still unable actually, still gray out. So should I exit and log in again? Which I don't think so.
Well, you can try because first I add your other account as a speaker, but now I also add the new address as a speaker, so it should be.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me exit
Yeah.
and join again. All right, see you in a few seconds.
There are those in the waiting room, but I don't see them. According to the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Participant. I don't see anyone in the waiting room.
Okay, but Anusha said she's in the waiting room.
Just,
So while we are waiting for Johari to enter, I'm hoping everyone is having a good time and maybe you get ready. It's going to be really interesting. Maybe you're going to fetch a glass of water. That might be a good idea. I'm doing that right now. We are extremely happy to have so many people. Yeah, that looks like a favorite mug of yours, Carlos. Looks very beautiful mug. I just have a glass of water, you know. I call it Senfkristall, which is mustard crystal, because the way they are selling mustard here is in glasses, and I use the mustard glasses as a drinking glass. So that's, you know, being pragmatic. Yeah, so I'm hoping you make yourself comfortable and fetch yourself a drink.
Johari, could you
Johari.
please test your mic?
Yep, I'm all right. Let me know when I should start.
Okay,
I think
you
it's a
can
good
start.
time to start, Johari.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and assalamualaikum to everyone. Those from EU is morning there, and Southeast Asia is mid-afternoon at 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Thank you very much for joining our session today. It's going to be a 2-hour session, and this is part of the Micro CASA project. And the title of our webinar today is Unlocking the Potential of Micro-Credentials. My name is Johari. I'm from Unimas, and I'll be assisting in managing the session. So straight away to our session today. Welcome to everyone. Happy to see everyone, no matter where you are. I hope you're in your good health, mentally and physically. Moving on. So a little bit about MicroCasa. MicroCasa stands for Micro Credential for Lifelong Learning and Employability for Southeast Asia. And this is funded by the Erasmus Plus project, research grant from EU. And the vision for this project is to be able to share the knowledge from the European partners with regards to developing micro-credential courses, especially to share the knowledge with the Southeast Asian partners. The details of this project, you can get it from the website, which I will share later. And this is the second year of the project, and the total duration for the project is 3 years. And we are currently at the stage of content development. Who are we? So basically, there are a few partners for this project, and this consortium consists of 11 partners, 3 from the European universities, and there is one quality control agency, and 6 partners from the Southeast Asia region. So from the EU, we have UC of Saarlands in Germany, led by Prof. Amin, and we have Universidad Carlos III from Spain by Prof. Carlos Delgado Cruz, and we also have University of Europea Roma in Italy, and we have also Chimia, which assists for the content development and a few other things. And Giraffe is the project quality management agency that assists the European partner in managing the project. And the 6 partner from the Southeast Asia region, from Indonesia, we have UB, Brawijaya in Malang. We have Unstrat from Sulawesi. We have USM, University Malaysia from Malaysia, and University of Malaysia Sarawak from UNIMAS. And from Philippines, we have UP, University of Philippines, and Ateneo. So these are the 6 partners. And if you want to get more information about the project, about the micro-credential courses planned under this project, you can go to the website. You can either Google MicroCasa. The first link should be direct to the project, or you can type in this URL, or you can also type microcasa.eu, which bring you to the same website. So I will post, or I've already posted the link in the chat box, and I will try to post it again after this. There are a lot of information from the website. If you have any question, you can contact the project lead, Prof. Amin, about any matters of interest. Now, what we'll do today is going to be a 2-hour session. The first 10 minutes is what I'm doing now to give a bit of introduction to the session. And after that, Prof. Almin will take over and facilitate the session. The main agenda is, of course, from Prof. Carlos. He will share very interesting development with regards to AI, generative AI, and how it can help with designing micro courses. And there'll be activity after that, which will be facilitated by Armin, a 40 minutes activity. And we would like to take this opportunity to encourage every participant to participate actively. And there'll be a question and answer. So later, if you have any question and answer, you can either post in the chat box, and we can also allow you to ask your question verbally. And the last 10 minutes, I will do a bit of housekeeping, especially on the feedback form, which I will explain after this. Now, we have 2 very prominent researchers from our project, and we are very fortunate to have both of them today. Prof. Amin Weinberger from Saarland University, long list of experience in instructional design. I don't think I want to go through the details. You can also go to his website. We share after this slide, and also the link to Prof. Amin website. Long list of research experience, research projects, research paper, and so on. And the second person today is Prof. Delgado Cruz from the Carlos III Universidad. Also, a long list of achievement from Prof. Carlos, and he's working directly in one of the most talk about area, which is on AI, generative AI. And I will again share the link. You can visit his website to see all his project and also publication and so on. So a bit of housekeeping, another 2 minutes that I have. So this session is recorded and will be shared at a later stage to all participants if you want to review the session today. Secondly, if you have any question throughout the session, you can type your question in the chat box, or later when there is a Q&A session, you can ask verbally. Third one, the slide from today's session from Prof. Carlos. Again, we will share it through the MicroCasa website, and we will also share through your registered email. And last but not least, I think this is probably the most important for all the registered participants, we will provide the e-certificate for all participants registered upon completion of 2 things. One, you have attended the session today. And secondly, after you have completed the feedback form, which will be shared at the end of the session. This is an advance notice. This is the second series of the webinar, which is scheduled on the 4th of July, next Thursday. And this is will be shared in the chat box as well. And we will email you the link for the registration. And you are more than welcome to join this. And as usual, we will have a recording if for some reason you cannot attend, but we wish and really hope that you can join the session next Thursday at the same time. And what we'll do in the next session is basically to hear the panel discussion. The first one from the EU panel about the challenges and overlooked aspect of micro-credential. And the second one will be the discussion from the partners from the Southeast Asia region, the 6 universities just now. And as usual, we look at the question and answer and student-focused micro-credential. So we'll share this through your registered email, and I will also share this slide later on where you can scan the QR code to register for next week's session. Oh, this one is for the last one, sorry. So with that, I think I've done my part. We wish you all the best for the next 2 hours. Please stay put. There are a lot of things that we can learn from these two experts. Armin, if you're ready, I'll pass the session to you and I will release my screen. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you so much, Johari. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you all can see it.
Yep, very clear. Yep.
Just gonna do this like so. Okay, here we go. Yes, so yeah, unlocking the potentials of micro-credentials. So this is what we're talking about today. It's a great pleasure to be able to talk to you, and I'm very happy about the very interest that you're showing here. This is a very interesting topic on many levels, both on educational and instructional ideas as well as on institutional ideas. So I'm hoping that this is interesting for teachers, for study counselors in particular, also for university administration and presidents. And yeah, let me just show you again who we are. Johari already did that. Let's put some faces to that. Nice colleagues, partners for a couple of years now already. But let me talk about micro credentials that are connected to micro learning right away. Microlearning is a new approach that breaks down learning into smaller bits, into learning nuggets that are of maybe 5 minutes of length that together compose a larger sequence of learning, but in itself are really micro moments. The interesting thing, I think, is that they're building strongly on activities of learners and entail testing. They activate learner through constant quizzing, posing them tasks, and providing immediate feedback. It's basically the idea is to learn at the bus stop, not in the classroom, but at the bus stop with your small mobile device in a very personalized, non-formal way. Of course, it can be still very formal as in terms of then being related to micro-credentials, but it has aspects of being non-formal. And of course, what you test is what you get. These micro learning moments then can lead up to a micro credentials. Later on today, I want to give you like an impression of how such a micro course could look like to inspire you a little bit of how that could be designed and looking like. So it is in a way a new pedagogy, a new idea of instruction, and on the other level, on the institutional level, we have this notion of having a new mission for universities that is extending, that is reaching into society by and large. Now, what stands in the way is, of course, an understanding of the primary mission of universities to provide learners with a solid, profound education with competencies that you wouldn't get between knowledge and practice. So people saying, I want to learn how to do my taxes, may be as wrong as people who are saying, I just want to learn about the pure abstract thought. So there is a connection between theory and practice, and that is exactly what universities can address. In some disciplines, maybe that's more pronounced than in others. Just think about medicine, where, of course, you want to have at the end practitioners that really know what they're doing, but at the same time, they have a profound knowledge about the human body and so know what they're doing. Right. The other idea is that how can micro-learning really lead to these larger goals? The simple truth is that also these big educational goals start with small first steps. So there is nothing to say against 5-minute pieces of learning that is activating learners, that is seeding some ideas that kind of get their journey into also towards larger educational goals started. The role of the universities with respect to micro-credential is really, or can be really crucial here, because one big question of micro-credentials is the quality. And institutions like universities could build the trust and could credibly certify competencies. And that is why universities would have really a major role in this notion of issuing micro-credentials if they take that chance. For universities themselves, there are also interesting goals that could be connected to the idea of micro-certificates. The US American universities are doing it really well, namely to stay connected to alumni, to update learners, to teach them the state of the art long after they have left the universities, because of course knowledge is also advancing and changing, and so alumni may have a really high interest to stay connected to the latest knowledge that universities can provide. And last but not least, and I think that's really an interesting perspective, I don't know how it is in Southeast Asia, but I think it's a global phenomenon that universities have to struggle a little bit about their place in society. There is a bit of a question being posed now that these very expensive institutions, are they really worth it? Can society really carry them? In former times, universities have been a fantastic idea that really have advanced society in a big way, but nowadays that is put into question. And so to reach out to society at large and open university education to some extent through these micro courses and micro credentials may really put us and universities back into the center of societies. So that's at least a very nice idea. And Johari already gave you kind of like an outlook on what's happening today and also what's happening next week. And I would really like to invite you also to join our webinar next week as well. Let me just maybe comment on what's happening today. We're gonna have a talk of Carlos Delgado-Close, who is really an expert in this field on AI for education. And let me tell you that AI for education, you can guess it, is the hottest topic right now. So we're very happy, and I can make big promises, even though I don't want to put so much pressure on Carlos. But I heard him talk, and it's really very interesting. The hottest topic right now is how can we use AI tools for education, also for higher education? How can we design courses? It's a really powerful tool and very, very impressive. The other thing is what's the place of the human in this micro-learning? And of course, we have to counsel students to take the appropriate courses, to interact with students, and to give that learning still a human face. For that purpose, we have prepared a self-guided micro course. I will show you the slide again later, so you can take the QR code or this URL, it's leading to the same thing, and you can register yourself already there if you like, but I will show it again, and you can also do that later on. You can explore this course then as much or as little as you want. You can also explore it later, also afterwards, but we'll be staying here and talk with you and discuss the course, also your course experiences. You can pick it up after you've left it at a later time, so that is not an issue. Right, so that's what's happening today, right? Unlocking the potential of micro-credentials. We're talking about AI for education, and we're going to take a chance and look at this micro course just to give you an impression about one thing. How could a micro course look like? We used Articulate to create it relatively quickly to give you an impression of how that works with input and quizzes and so on. And then you can explore that. So that's what's happening today. And maybe an outlook already at this time to next week. That is where we're going to talk about the institutional experience a little bit more, how to provide legal, technical, organizational frames for micro-credentials, also about quality management. And I'm hoping that you will be joining us again at that time, because that's where we're really discussing experiences and steps to take, and also challenging the idea and such. Well, that's it really from my side. I hope you gained additional aspects to be interested in. And with that, I thank you so far, and would really hand the floor over to Carlos. Please, Carlos. I think now we're going into AI in education.
Okay, I'm sharing my slides. Can you see them?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, salam alaikum, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to give you some thoughts about how to use AI for developing courses. AI is more than just ChatGPT. It's more than chatbot. There are many applications coming up every day that are specific to particular purposes and that help us, in particular, also to design courses. As Mustafa Sulaiman says, Sulaiman was the CEO, the founder of DeepMind, this company that was bought then by Google, and then he became also part of Google. And then he has left Google, but he has his own company. It is very interesting if you want to look at his videos and his book. He has a book, The Coming Wave, where he says everything is about to change. Everything. Healthcare, vehicles, security, defense, manufacturing, entertainment, workplace, everything. And also education. So in which way can help us AI to design courses? This is the main objective of this short presentation, AI for course design. Then I will talk briefly about other things which are related to university and academia, very short, very briefly. It's more than course design, but my main concentration is on AI for course design. The question is, how will AI impact the work of professors, of designers, or instructional designers, of instructors for course design? And let me define a workflow, a way of the professor, the instructor goes when defining courses. First, they have to understand the topics to teach. Then they have to prepare education material, and then they have to teach the class. So let's concentrate on these three aspects. There are many more aspects, of course, but let's concentrate on these three aspects. And the first one, understanding the topics to teach. We could say, well, it means research for course preparation, so really going deep into one particular topic. Science and technology and topics are changing very fast, so you sometimes have to prepare well. Then maybe you have to transform a little bit videos and documents. And maybe also before even going to prepare the documentation for the class, you have to think of a syllabi. What is the study plan? So let's go through these three topics first. research for course preparation, because literature grows exponentially. It's impossible to read everything that comes out about the particular topics, and one needs to help to navigate through all the different relevant documents. Well, there's AI to help you. You can use, of course, general Gen AI tools like OpenAI ChatGPT, like Microsoft Copilot, like Gemini from Google, or like Anthropic Claude by Anthropic, or like others, many others. But there are also specific generative AI tools that are research assistants. There are many. I will not go through all of them, but in any way, they help you find relevant papers, get insights from papers, identify the key findings and trends. They can help you also in writing down what are the main aspects there, and help you in other things, generate flashcards and citations. Let me just mention two. One is consensus, that where the text is not generated, which can be a problem sometimes with generative AI, with their hallucinations. They're inventing things which are wrong. Here, text is not generated. It's extracted word from word from the papers. So therefore, it's authentic, it's real, it's something which is available in the papers. This is one of the apps. Another one is Research Rabbit, and as I say, there are many more that they say this like Spotify. If you have a number of papers, you can get recommendations of other papers related to the ones you have. And can you give interactive visualizations and explore together and root through the different papers, to get the best insights. Okay, research for course preparation with the help of AI. Then maybe you have some documents, you have to manipulate them, massage them, and there, generative AI is really a master in manipulating text, in summarization, in rephrasing, explaining concepts, elaborating things, changing style also, etc. Examples, counterexamples, role play, etc. For instance, one might have a text. I have here give me a summary of Dante's Divine Comedy in 2 paragraphs, and you get this. And if you don't like it, say, okay, rephrase it maybe in simpler terms. Okay, but then you get another version, or for a 5-year-old child, or in more formal terms. Okay, you can manipulate the text with help of AI. Also, with generative AI, you can extract sentiments, emotions, extract topics. What is the main topics referred to in this paper? And what I say about text, I can say also about videos. Today, I don't know how many millions of minutes are uploaded to YouTube every minute. There's so much interesting things, but it takes time to see all these videos. People go twice the velocity, the speed, in order to get faster through them. But this is not necessary anymore, because you can ask some generative AI like Merlin or Rio is another one. Okay, give me a summary of this video, go through it, and give me the main moments which are relevant. And you get a list of the instance and the main aspects which are discussed in every instance. And then you might go particularly to one moment in order to hear it in full, etc. So it allows you to gain time to go through the vast, enormous set of documents, papers, and videos. And say, before you go on to prepare the material, you need to have a syllabus for one particular course. You're designing a course, and okay, what are the main aspects there? There, you can go to general generative AI, generic tools, general tools. Here I use Gemini by Google. What could be the syllabus for a course on student counseling, for instance? And then, in 0 time, you get not just 1, but 3 proposals, and you choose the best. And maybe you can also massage it a little bit. No, I want to emphasize on this, and then you get another proposal with the course description, the course objectives, the course requirements, the grading, the different weeks or different sessions, different classes, etc. And with some references with additional resources. So we are equipped now to design a course. We have researched the topic, we got the course syllabus, and now we go on to prepare the education material. There again, there are different kinds of material. Maybe you have to prepare documents, you want to have mind maps in order to show the relationship of different concepts, you want to do some slides with images, with videos, and some quizzes, some assessments, or some rubrics for assessing the student understanding. Okay, let's go through these 6 aspects now. For documents, we have already mentioned it. No, the generative AI applications are masters in language, so they can change the style. They can translate from business language to slang or vice versa. They can translate between languages, from English to Bahasa Malaysia, for instance. They can correct spelling and grammar errors and even conceptual errors also sometimes. I got this experience in one particular occasion, that even conceptual errors, not spelling or grammar typos, but also conceptual errors are being corrected. Or if you're a technical person, you can change formats. It's a master of language, but not just literal language, also specific programming languages or technical formats. So translate from JSON to HTML, or from one XML application to another XML application. Mind maps. Mind maps can be useful for showing the relationship between topics. Mind maps are typical graphical aspects where you have different nodes connected to other nodes. And although this is graphical, in essence, there are the formats to describe these graphics with text. For instance, LaTeX has which is used for writing technical scientific papers, has one module that allows you to describe mind maps. And you can ask generative AI to give a mind map in the LaTeX format. So then you go to LaTeX formatter like Overleaf or others, and you put directly the input you have received from ChatGPT in this case, and you get this drawing. You get the graphical mind map. You can do it through LaTeX. You can go through other formats like Markdown. Similarly, generate a Markdown code for mind map that shows how ChatGPT works. This is the example I used here. So I get this code and I go to some application that understands this Markdown, like Mark Map, and there you go, you have the mind map. Or there are also specific XML languages that for the same purpose. So even if it's graphical, some graphics are essentially textual if you have the right markup language that allows you to go from the markup to the graphical version. Slides. In essence, slides, if you go to the inside, for instance, of PowerPoint, PPTX, you go to there you have visual basic application. No? So it's if this is graphical for you, inside it's also text. So you can have generative AI to generate this text, which then shows as a PowerPoint slide. It's a PowerPoint slide or as a Google slide, etc. So there are many applications, specific applications. I show here a few of them, but there are many more. There's another beautiful AI also, Tome, Gamma, that allow you with different kinds of control to design PowerPoints. You can say, okay, design a set of slides about this topic, and then they decide the content. But you can be also more precise and control much more what you will get. For instance, Google Slides is about, it probably depends on the country, is about to have this enhanced version of Google Slide that allows you to design images with your prompt and put them in. And I mean, this is a kind of assistant that allows you to design these Google Slides with AI. Images. I think you all know the many applications to design images that are getting better and better. DALL-E, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, etc. No, here we see how DALL-E has been improving in the latest versions, from DALL-E 1, very basic, to DALL-E 3, very detailed, with text, a lot of control of the image. No, and you can also improve the resolution of images. You can also extend images. You give it, is this the Lady of the Pearl from Vermeer, and you say, okay, extend this, and then you get the room of the time of the dressing of this lady, or can extend it even further, so it invents the surrounding in relation to the original text. This is an example also I have presented several times, but I like very much. No? For instance, can you write a proof of the infinitude of primes, but to make it a bit more difficult, with every line that rhymes? Okay, and here you have it, the explanation why there are infinite primes with rhymes. But let's go a bit further even. I want to have an image that explains, that goes with this explanation, that shows very well the basics of the idea behind it. And I could, I say, can you draw an illustration of the proof of this in, as we say, scalable vector graphic format? Scalable vector graphic is textual format that shows a graphic. You know? And here I have this XML, image height, etc., all the details, and then I can go to an SVG viewer, and get this image. So from a conceptual idea to a text that rhymes to a graphical that shows what is the principle behind this. It is really amazing. Videos. We have seen Sora recently, by OpenAI, that can make short videos about one particular topic, which is really impressive. But in the context of education, there are many applications that allow you to do videos with avatars, without avatars, with conversations among people. Before, for the MOOCs, we had to go to the studio and record it and repeat it because it didn't go well, etc. Now you can design a text, a script, and this script can be also generated with your help with a generative AI, and then you send it to one of these video generating tools, and you get the avatar speaking for you. Do you want to believe it? This is a video I recorded, I think it was 8 years ago. Oops, where's my here. This might go well or not, because sometimes videos are not well.
Hacer un curso como este es en realidad una aventura muy peligrosa, por dos razones principalmente.
Hacer un curso como este es en realidad una aventura muy peligrosa, por dos razones principalmente.
Okay.
En primer lugar,
first was me, 8 years younger than now, with all the complexities of going to the studio, and I took this text. Well, what I did is actually I sent this video to an AI that extract please the text for me, and I get the text. I didn't have to write it down myself. And then I sent it to another application, in this case Colossian, and I selected one of the available avatars, and I got this reading. It's
porque
maybe
el fenómeno
not
de los MOOCs es muy reciente y por
as expressive as me, but if you pay, then you can get also your own avatar, so with your own body, with more expression, etc. This is really an enormous time save. And the avatars are getting better and better. Here, you can, this on the left is the real person. We'll stop. And here are synthesized avatars. First to the left, not so good, not so expressive, but the one to the right, this is an avatar, this is not a real person. It's really indistinguishable from the real person. So And as time advances, it will go better and better. You can also, this is being done by Coursera, by edX, etc., by these MOOC platforms, dub videos. This is my original in Spanish.
Es en realidad, hacer un curso como este es en realidad una aventura.
Stop it. I can have a translation into English.
Doing a course like this is in fact a very dangerous adventure, mainly for two reasons. First, because the MOOC
Or even in Bahasa Malaysia.
Ambil kursus seperti ini, ia pada hakikatnya pengembaraan yang sangat berbahaya. Atas dua sebab terutamanya.
You probably understand.
Pertama,
I don't understand.
karena fenomena MOOC adalah.
Okay, so in Coursera is already automatically translating all their videos into, I think, 7 languages around the world. So the problem there is maybe to check whether what has been translated is right or not, but you have to have native speakers. Checking is easier than recording. But more than that, Luma Labs allows you to generate videos from images. I took this image here. You see on the left, this is it's not a good image actually, but maybe next time I have to look for a better image because my white hair looks like I'm bald and below it looks like I have a beard. I didn't have a beard there. But with this image and the text below, this prompt, teaching a class with a vivid explanation, I got immediately this video here. It's not perfect. You see, it seems like a different person, but it's very similar. Or I can also extend it. I took the previous one, asked a question to the students leaning forward. Oops, oh, sorry. And well, it's the same one. Now it extends a bit further. So very short. And now I go forward and try to ask a question. Only to see this, no, there's zero effort, no, is really amazing. Of course, we need to have better versions of this. This just has come out, no, but I think this is really game-changing. And we are seeing that some of these individual applications are being integrated in other platforms, like Beyond. Beyond allows you to do videos or animations, let's say, no? You can give some input for a script, and then you get a script with this prompt, with this explanation, no? You can adjust it, make it more formal, less formal, more funny, humorous, etc. You can select the style of your animation, the persons that appear there, and you can edit then the script a little bit, edit even the timeline, edit the characters, so you have some control over everything, the whole content, the script, the timeline, the characters, but you get this support from AI that helps you enormously in generating this animation. Or Articulate, Armin talked about Articulate because it's going to be an Articulate course at the end. There again, I mean, in this case will be probably simple, no? Just the videos and some quizzes, etc. But AI is being integrated into it. Some of the things are still promises, but they will come out soon. No? You can upload your material, for instance, your documents, your slides, etc., and you can get an outline, a first version of the outline of your course, which can be refined with AI. Then you can get suggestions both for images that go along with it and for quizzes. So you don't have to think of the quizzes. You get a suggestion, and then you can refine it and make it your own. And finally, can convert this text, if you wish, or part of the text into video, where you can also control some of the video details. So AI is helping you in the different phases of content generation. Finally, for assessments, there are also, I think I have to go a bit faster. You can have general purpose AIs like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Copilot, etc., to generate quiz questions. Or there are also applications which are specialized on this task, like Prep AI or Quillians, or other like Quizlet Quizlet and quizzes, which are existing applications that are adding AI features in order to generate quizzes for you and rubrics. Okay, now we have to go to teach the class. Then you have to identify some methodologies, some pedagogies, and there AI can be of help as well. For instance, you can ask, suggest some teaching methods to teach, in this case, recursion in the context of Java programming. And I get some suggestions on how to proceed or how to orchestrate the class. Here I explain a little bit, then I have some exercises, and then some discussion, etc. Okay, this I can ask also to generative AI. Or to get feedback to learners. Sometimes when you ask the students to write a paper or to write a program, you're not sure whether they use the AI themselves. No, so you have a long paper, but is it their paper? They promised they did it themselves, but is it really their paper, or have they used AI to do it? Maybe using AI is okay, but you want to make sure whether this is the case or not. What you can do, if you take the paper, you feed it to a generative AI, and then ask it, give me some questions that I will ask to the students to see whether they were the authors of the paper. So you can use AI the other way around to analyze this paper and get some suggestions for questions for you to really identify whether they know the content of the paper. Good. So this is a summary so far. The main part, I have a bit more. Understanding the topics to teach with AI, preparing education material, all kinds of material, and teaching the class and the pedagogies. AI can be of help there. Here we have the three parts again. Very briefly, it's not just course design. We as university professors or lecturers or assistants do many other tasks in the university. For instance, it's not just teaching, but also what we teach. Like George Sang said, that's Hugh said, there are only two things wrong with education: what we teach and how we teach it. So everything is wrong. So we have seen that AI can help us in what and how we teach it, but also what we teach. And everybody should be careful in really rethinking their content, computer scientists, engineers, journalists, etc., because AI is impacting all industries, really. So this is the other thing which should be, maybe with the help of AI, but you should be rethinking. What we also do is research, and AI has proved that it can not just make a summary of the existing knowledge, but it can also extend knowledge. It can define new algorithms, discover new drugs, identify new medical treatments, can beyond the current state of the art, which is really impressive. And finally, the university is not only teaching, but also learning. And I will not go into detail, but I can say that AI can help also students when attending lectures for independent study and for collaborative study. There, AI can be also a helper, a friend, an assistant for the activity of learning. Good. So not just core design, what to teach for research and for learning, also important aspects of academic activities. I have to have always this beware things. It also looks very nice, but there are still many open issues which are not solved. The hallucinations, the intellectual property that has been used to train all these models, the regulation are coming up. In Europe, they have the AI Act. So privacy issues, dependence, sovereignty, quality of results, biases. So there are a lot of problems there still to be solved. So take everything carefully, because really you can see, for instance, videos. Here we have Tom Cruise, but in reality, this is not Tom Cruise. So what is real and what is not real is really can be a problem there. Okay, and to finalize, Armin asked me to introduce an activity so that you can all practice some of these things. And the activity I want to propose is that you define the syllabus for a simple course. And for this, I will use these proposals here, AI for course creation, with this meta prompt, if you wish. No, you're an expert course creator. This is the prompt you give to an AI, and you can use Gemini, ChatGPT, my Copilot, Claude, whatever you want to use. And you should have an elaborate prompt, not the simple one, a bit more elaborated. For instance, this is just a proposal. Your task is to develop a comprehensive course outline for a course entitled whatever. The course is aimed at whatever target audience, and the learning objectives are these ones, and the key topics are these ones. And using the principles of some framework, please create a course outline, including the following sections: course outline, a course title, learning objectives, key topics, course content, and activity suggestions, and assessment methods. So, and you can either decide your own or try to design a course for student counseling. You can decide your own learning objectives and key topics and different frameworks. I can give you some ideas here. Or, and this is a meta level, ask ChatGPT or some other application to help you in identifying these objectives and the key topics and the models. No? So you can be, if you know the area well enough, you can say, oh, these are objectives I want to have here. Stop. Or, well, give me some ideas. So there's in two levels, no? Design the course with your ideas, or maybe help me get ideas, learning objectives, key topics, models that can be used for this. The two levels, no? Because, no, so you and this is one thing, you can design your prompt yourself, design your prompt with some help for learning objectives, key topics, etc. Or you can write a prompt and then ask ChatGPT to improve your prompt. No? Some people say, like in this article by IEEE, that prompt engineering is dead because AI can make better prompts than you. No? So it's one meta level, but you can either do it one way or the other. So my proposal is to have you design this course outline. There are several frameworks. You can use Bloom's taxonomy or Gagne 9 events of instruction, etc. There are several arounds here. And I will ask you to use your favorite general AI tool and go to this URL, padlet.com, cdclose with double O, microcasa, and well, maybe spend a few minutes and put some of your answers here. Okay, so I'll stop. Well, I'll leave this here and ask you now to maybe I'll go back here to this, and you can rephrase it whatever you want. No, you should give the role to the AI. You're an expert course creator. You have an experience of 20 years teaching this. You have been very successful in teaching, whatever you want to say, no? In teaching your students. And please develop a course outline for whatever you want, giving suggestions for activities, for course content. This you can phrase whatever in which way you want, your particular context. And then we don't have too much time to spend here, but at least have a try and upload it to the Padlet I've shown here, padlet.com, cdclose microcasa. I'll stop here for a moment and see what is your responses.
Carlos, quick question. The course can be a standard course or it has to be micro-credential or any type of course?
Any type of course. Since
All
we
right.
are talking about micro-credential, maybe micro-credential would be quite appropriate, but for whatever course, yeah, whatever level.
All right, thank you. I've posted the instruction in the chat box and also the link to the Padlet in the chat box for the participant.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much. Excellent.
How long will you have, Carlos? How many minutes?
Whatever you decide. I don't know how we are doing with time. I think, let's say until the full hour or so.
Armin, time?
Would you?
We saw 10 minutes for that, no?
Yep, 10
Yeah.
minutes. All right, okay. Isabel, can we enable, is there any question about participant? I think we need to enable the chat box because at the moment I think it's disabled for the participant in case they have any question.
The chat box should be available for the participants, and they can also raise their hand, then I can enable them.
All right,
Micro,
okay.
Yeah.
So to all participants, if you have any question for Carlos, you can either raise your hand and Isabel will allow you to ask question for this particular task, or you can post in the chat box. First to post your course outline, maybe there's a prize for them. I'm not sure. Carlos, can you show the Padlet? I think someone already mentioned something. It's not the full course outline, but someone is testing there. So maybe you can show the Padlet.
Yes. Let me stop sharing and share.
Oh, we have one already. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Street photography. Excellent. It's a nice micro course.
I think Alicia has a question, please.
Alicia Unstrat, you can unmute yourself and ask question. Your hand is raised.
The question I see here is how micro-credential can accommodate complex material which need time more than 30 minutes. Well, the definition of the length of a micro-credential varies from country to country. In Spain, there is law, there's legislation, specific legislation that says the micro-credential is at most 15 ECTS. So ECTS is the European Credit Transfer System. I don't know how it translates to the credit system in your countries. One ECTS is 25 to 30 hours, learning hours by the student. No? So 15 ECTS is quite a great number. So you can have micro courses that are 1 ECTS or up to 15. No? It can be 14 ECTS. And 14 times 25, well, it's a big number already. No? So micro-credentials don't have to be 30 minutes. They can be quite short, but 1 ECTS is at least 30 hours, not minutes, 60 times more. No? So one thing, exactly. So they are not nano courses. So they are, you can have a body of explanation and assessment, etc. there. No? So it doesn't have to be so short as you refer in your message. In different countries differently. For instance, in the Netherlands, it goes up to 30 CTS. In Belgium, it goes until 20 CTS. So in Portugal, I think it's 12 ECTS. So this is unfortunately very diverse. A microorganism is not equal to a microorganism in another country.
Oh, this looks interesting. Cooking curry fish, Carlos.
Pardon me? Ah,
Oh,
sorry, I was. Oh, yeah. Many cooking curry fish. Very interesting. Yeah.
That has to be Malaysian. Well, unfortunately, I think if they go to the Padlet without signing in, we do not know who they are. Would you want them to put their name on top of?
I have not. I've enabled anonymous submissions. I can
All right.
change that, but I think it's easier for now if you don't have much time not to go through the whole registration process. It would be nice by people if they could at least give the name or the country so they know to see where they are from. But there are very interesting courses coming up. No, and how long did you take to do this? Just a few minutes. No, this is the incredible thing. Then of course you could go through a phase of refining. Okay, I want to stress this topic more, or want to remove this other topic, since the applications remember the past, remember the context, they elaborate more on the previous content. Here we have a sustainable reporting course. Sustainable
Carlos,
reporting.
one question. I cannot recall whether I tried this. If you have the exact same prompt from two different individuals, I think you will get slightly different result, isn't it?
Exactly. That's right. This is not exact science. No, if you give the same prompt, you typically get different answers in different moments. So this is just statistical things, and so the response is not the same in all occasions, even for the same prompt.
Right.
Researcher profiles. Art of living happily ever after. Very interesting. Defining happiness. There's a very popular course on Coursera about happiness. No? So this is not of little importance. It's a very good one. Interaction to web development. Here we have a smaller one. It's a PDF. Spirituality. Okay. We have more. The future of the teaching profession. Okay, yes, very good. Can we? Are we still needed, or can the AI replace us? Very relevant question. Into academic counseling. Researcher profiles. Okay, I think you can continue within the course or outside of the course, practicing this, looking at the possibilities. And I think maybe I should, for the interest of time, stop here. I thank you very much for all these nice contributions. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
I'm guessing that brings it back to me. Of course, we can still talk about this very important topic. We'll be here for Q&A for an hour more. So there's ample time if you have more questions to Carlos. But But now with this very strong impression and the incredible power of this tool or these tools basically in mind, let's turn back to our role in this in such scenarios. And one of these roles certainly is to counsel students. So for that, as I said, we prepared a micro course. It is a little bit, let's say, a way to give you an impression of how a micro course could look like, and we did use Articulate. We have not yet so much applied AI for that course, I have to admit. I'm so grateful to Carlos to force us a little bit to use AI tools, and I'm starting also. He has basically taught me to also start using it as a tool on a daily basis, kind of. But for this course, we kind of crafted it ourselves, and thanks to Lil Pfannenstiel and Markus Schäf and Olivia Bolton, who worked a little bit on this course. So now I would kindly ask you to try it out, to explore it as much or as little as you like. We'll be here waiting for you to come back. We will be having like around about 40 minutes to explore it. What you have to do is you have to go to this URL and you have to register at Articulate. Because, of course, the technological side of these courses is always a little bit of a question. Where do we place this in the learning management system of one or the other university? Then it's a question of whether it's accessible or not, and how much does that cost, and so on and so forth. So we found a solution at Articulate, however, at the cost of you having to register there. This takes around 2 minutes, and you know the registration process. You have to provide an email, and then you have to kind of validate that email by checking your email account and replying to or activating a link in a message that you're getting. Yeah? So that's the usual business, you know that. So if you use a QR scanner or just type in this tiny URL, you will be led to the Articulate registration site. Anyone who is participating here, who is registered here, can also register there and can also attain a badge or a micro credential doing this course, doing the quizzes, doing the final quiz, taking all of that together. And of course, the idea is a little bit that you indulge in those topics in the course that interest you the most. You may not need to do everything. If you already know a good deal about a subtopic, you just might do the quiz right away and leave out the topic. So if you're not interested in email communication, how to talk with students by email, then just leave that out. That's just as fine. But you can indulge in other topics than spending more time there. So this is the whole idea, that this is adapted to you and you can make the choice if you already know parts of the topics that we laid out in this micro course. Right, yeah. So yeah, with your email addresses being registered there and with your registration in the webinar, you can attain a badge or a micro credential. If you're not capable, or if you want to tell your colleagues, and we would kindly ask you to notify your colleagues about another chance to participate in the second webinar, and hopefully you would also be participating in the second webinar. There you will have another chance to again indulge in that micro course. That will be a little bit shorter in the live session, but of course also after our live webinar, you still are capable of entering into the micro course. So we will not put it away right away, but you can have some weeks to explore it further, and you're more than welcome to do so. So participants also of the second webinar will also be able to take part in this micro course and get a micro credential there. Right. So I'm thinking that by now you will be successfully being registered at the microcourse. So check through that. You will find the subtopics if you scroll down a bit, and if you enter into any of those subtopics, you will then have the links on the left side of your screen, and you can jump to any topic as you see fit, wherever your interest is leading you.
Armin,
If you
sorry to
have,
disturb.
no, don't be. Yes, please.
I log in and I think another participant log in, but we cannot see the course that you mentioned in Articulate.
Okay, I have Will with me. Maybe he can help you. Will, can you comment on that problem?
So I use the link that you provide, the tiny URL. I use my Gmail to register, and I'm now at the dashboard, but I cannot see any assigned training.
I have to unmute Will to help us out here.
And I think the rest of the participant is having the same issue from the chat box.
Same issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
All right, hold on, participant. We'll try to sort this out. Give us a few minutes. Get a cup of coffee, I guess, but don't go too far away.
Will, can you check that problem? You know what's happening?
Yeah, I took a look. I don't know what's going on, but I have entered the full link. Maybe there was a mistake in the tiny link creation. So I've put the full link into the chat.
Is the QR code working?
Let me try. Will, hold on. I'll use the link that you mentioned.
But the full thing is working. Okay.
Because when we tested it earlier, it worked.
Yeah, the full link works. So
full link works.
Yeah, they use the one in the chat box to all the participants.
All right. Yeah, it's in the chat.
Nurul, use the link from Will. Try the full link.
It again.
Yep. That should be all right. I can see the study coordination website. Yep. All right, seems to be okay now. So thanks, Will.
You're quite welcome.
Sorry, I mean, I think you have a few things more to say just now. Sorry to disturb. Yep.
Actually, no, you're never disturbing. No, you're always helping. Thank you very much. No. I'm actually now quite ready to let you go into this micro course, explore it, as I said, and we'll be here waiting for you to answer questions. So you can come back anytime and start talking with us. If you want to explore more, you have a maximum of 40 minutes. Yeah? But you can come back earlier if you like to, or stay with us as you wish and explore the micro course at a later moment in time. That's really on you. That's the nice thing about micro learning, that is really adjusted to your time scale and your interest. So please indulge, and we'll be here ready to talk with you or answer your questions at any moment.
Thanks, Armin. I think while they are going through the course, just curious, Articulate is a commercial software platform?
It is a commercial platform, but it offers kind of like a free option, yeah, to try it out. And this is indeed what we are using here. And we are using not only this free option, but we also put it on the Articulate server. Maybe Will, you can chime in. Maybe I've forgotten something, or you want to add some of your experiences with Articulate.
Well, we chose Articulate because of the robust opportunities that it offers. It's got a lot of media already built into the system. It's got a free media library, and it follows a simple system. We did upgrade to a paid version to be able to put it on their server and to be able to control some of the activities a little closer, but it was definitely worth it just because of the ease of use that it offers. You have multiple ways to design classes, from a very simple way with Articulate Rise to a much more technical method with Storyline, where you can have more functionality to change things. So Articulate has been very helpful for us.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Will. And Armin, this is a micro credential?
It is a micro credential in the sense that, yeah, or a badge and a micro credential, yes. But let's say it's not registered yet in a micro credential framework. So we're talking about a certificate in form of a paper that you can print out, just as a kind of a exemplary micro course and micro credential. Of course, the next step would be that this is then being registered in a national or even international framework, and that it could be found and could be then developed further. That is now in the interest of Tower, because of the little time we had to develop this, we did not yet register as such. But it is kind of a certifying that you have participated and that you've covered these topics.
Yeah? Why I ask, looking at the number of lessons, you have 24 lessons altogether, and this is equivalent to how many ECTS?
That's a good question. I mean, I would set it a little lower, really, than like, this is not a full course as like a university course. Yeah. So one ECTS we would be calculating with 30 work hours, and I believe you can do this in much less. Again, really just an example of how it could work, how Articulate also looks like. And yeah, in our understanding or with our experience, Articulate is kind of a convenient tool, and of course, it allows also this on this level is free access. So it has been a good approach for our purposes now. Whether this is for the ultimate tool, I think there are also other tools out there. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think Nurul Rahman has some more experience with Articulate that can be shared. So maybe, Isabel, you can unmute Nurul.
Nurul is unmuted.
Thank you. Hello, Armin, Johari, Carlos, and everyone. I'm Nurul. I'm I'm currently in Australia, in Melbourne. So I was invited by Nani from Malaysia, and thank you, Nani, for giving me the link very quickly. So I've used Articulate, and a fantastic tool, Articulate Rise 362. So Articulate is a paid application. However, you can register as a trial. So you have a certain period of time to try and create your course. But however, after that, you do have to pay. And this year, I think in July this year, they have increased 100 extra for the license of Articulate. So it's a fantastic tool. I use it a lot as a learning designer. I do a lot of courses in Articulate. But yeah, that's just so everyone knows. It is a paid tool, and it's save everything in cloud. So when you discontinue your license, everything will be disappear with the license. So you keep there, unless you create Articulate Storyline, which is you can create it in the desktop. But then again, you have to get the license for you to open that application and make and edit. You can, however, use the link and view it. So as a viewer, even after you don't have the license, you can still view, but you don't have access to edit the content any longer after that. So that's
all right.
Just for everyone.
Yeah, right. Thanks a lot. I think looking at all the commercial LMS like Blackboard and so on, they are really working on AI component as well. So just curious, for Articulate, I think they have planned to release AI tool, or have they released AI tool together with the platform?
Do you Yes, they do. They have already started as in a trial and released some of the trial using AI, which is really helpful because when you write, you could use AI tool to help you in providing some prompt and help as a instructor or as a uh, leading content writer in your courses, you can use that tool to help you to prompt question and provide more information. But it's still in the trial, so it has not been fully released in that sense. Articulate also have a e-learning heroes link I can share it with you, which is really helpful because it shares a lot of tips how to enhance and increase the engagement of online learning, self-paced module creation, and in terms of visually appealing and visually engaging, and there's a lot of games and e-assessment that could always be very useful when you want to engage with the learners using Articulate.
Thank you very much. Armin, time check. So now is 4:20 in Malaysia. I think based on our schedule, the Q&A start at 4:30, which is CST is 10:30, I think. So we have another 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can also leave things a little bit in parallel.
Oh,
so
all right.
yeah, 10 minutes, 20 minutes roundabout that, no big problem. Yeah, thank you very much, Nurul, for sharing these experiences. That's very important. May I just quickly also comment on the AI tools? Of course, now the big question is which ones to purchase, which ones to buy into. It's not so clear yet. But of course, at some point, the winners will emerge. And I mean, we have also now an open AI license because it's such a powerful tool. So yeah, that's really interesting. And yeah, we don't know yet. There are many contenders now on the market also.
Question from anybody while you're doing this? Question to Carlos, question to Armin. Carlos, one question to you while waiting for the others. I think I've been using a lot of AI tools. I think I've been playing with AI tools as well. From educator perspective, for all of us, do you feel at some point or once in a while that we are diminishing our value as educators and relegating the task to the AI? Of course, we still monitor the quality, the correctness, and everything. Because at some point I question myself, am I doing the work or AI doing the work? What was your opinion about this?
Well, on the one hand, there are interesting things coming up, no? OpenAI Edu, Google Edu, and so the things which we don't know yet. But I think today, this morning, I read an article saying that, for instance, Khan Migo is going to replace Khan Academy is so much hype about Khan Migo as being the perfect tutor for the students, etc. No? And this article said, we have lived through this hype in many occasions, no? With the MOOCs, with before also with the open education resources, etc. No? And we're still there. We're still very important. We're still necessary, no? And I think still this is the case. We are extrapolating on the possibilities, and the possibilities are really great, no? There, but we're extrapolating, but this extrapolation really at the moment is not happening. We are still necessary. Maybe we have to change the role. Maybe we are more getting the role of a coach, of an advisor, rather than as a content developer. No, the content is already there. In Wikipedia, you have everything already. No, but to identify what is important for you and what not, how to really help the students understand things, I think we are still necessary. So we need to change the role a little bit, but I think we cannot replace for many years to come.
Thanks, Carlos. I think there's one question from the chat box. Maybe either both of you can address that question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Thank you very much, Kellyanne, for this comment. The question whether our capacity is being reduced when we're using these tools. So yes, it is. So there are studies that when you're using a navigation device, GPS, you're losing your sense of orientation, or you're not losing it, but it's being reduced. When you're using a pocket calculator, of course, you cannot, or your capacity of calculating in your head is being reduced. So why do we have these tools? What's the idea? So there was a big discussion, especially now with pocket calculators, to introduce this in schools or not. And the solution, or the approach was, at least in German schools, was to not have the pocket calculator in elementary schools, but to later, in the higher education, introduce the pocket calculator. The rationale behind it was to say, okay, first students have to learn to calculate in their head, but then at a later stage, with higher calculations, it is good to give them a tool that simplifies the easier task or the more straightforward task to enable or to activate resources for then the more complex task. This is the idea. It's a cognitive tool that augments your cognitive power, your capacity. That's the idea. So the effect exists that these tools do what they are doing. They help you think, and they're reducing your cognitive capacity on the long run. However, the very, very important result, there's another effect, is begs the question, how do you use it and who's using it? There is one promise of this technology which is not true, and that is, unfortunately, and that is that the technology levels the playing field, that the weaker students will benefit and arrive at the level of the better, or the students with the better prerequisites for learning. That is not the case. That's very unfortunate. The opposite is true. The difference, the gap between not so good learners and better learners will be widening more. Why is that? Because you can use a pocket calculator as you can use AI or ChatGPT without thinking. What is 2 plus 2? I don't even start to think. I just use the pocket calculator because it's already in my hand. And you can use AI and ChatGPT similar without even starting to think. And that is then kind of having a negative impact on your capacity. Now, when you, however, use it in a way that is reflective, that is really aiming towards higher questions, where you are interacting with the tool, especially with ChatGPT, not regarding it as the thing that provides the solution, but as a partner in a dialogue, then there's a good chance actually that your capacity is enhanced, that you can better approach the more complex problem. So there's good and bad. The bad news is, yes, there is an effect to reduce your capacity, and the bad news is the gap might be widening, and we yet have to address that problem. But the good news is it really is a tool for thinking if you intentionally use it, if you use it in a reflective way, as Carlos was saying, if you check the results, if you are aware that it's not the perfect tool, that it's just a tool. The problem may be that we're calling it intelligent. It's not intelligent. It's really just a tool. It's just doing what we tell it to do. And it's doing that fantastically well, and it will get better and better and better. And in a way, I'm hoping that, with the respective capacity, you can really use it productively.
Thanks, Armin. Carlos, we have another 2 questions in the chat box.
How do you think tools like a virtual professor allow students to ask questions 24/7, whereas a human professor is available only during limited times? Yeah, this is true. Okay. So how do you think So yeah, virtual professor is available 24/7, and the human is available. This is true. This is correct. The virtual professor might hallucinate. Probably the real professor does not make so many mistakes. No, we recently had at the university some a set of conferences with industry, and the people from company said, how is that you are not teaching AI at all levels, at all disciplines? Because later when they go to the company, we want them to know how to use them with all the precautions, and with it's a tool like calculator that helps you get further. And how is that we're not teaching it? Of course, you have to teach critical thinking. You have to teach a lot of things around it in order to use it well. No, but I think it's a tool that gets us further faster. And yes, it's true. Virtual professor 24/7. The human professor is a limited resource, and if the virtual professor helps the student, welcome. No, so it's a tool that helps them for learning. So wonderful.
Carlos, are we going to lose our job?
Am I doing what?
Are we going to lose our job as professor?
No, 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 no. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
All right, all right.
But we're getting helpers to help us in doing our job.
There's a question before that actually from is it Kate? Hold on. Yeah, there is a Iral Kate question.
What is your advantage over other AI being advertised in the market? Aside from this, what is your advantage?
I think there are two parts of the question. The first part probably referring to, I'm not sure, is it articulate? The second part is the student might have access to a better output than the educators. So how will we know these students are using AI? I guess the one is how to detect AI.
Okay. But it's impossible. It's difficult. Because I mean, some of these there's tools that promise it, but the AI tools are getting better and better. So and they're different tools, and I think it's impossible to detect all tools because they might. A student at my university once told me for doing a master's thesis, I ask it in Spanish and then I translate it to English, and then nobody knows that it was really created. So I think one of the solutions is what I explained before. You ask the AI to, on the basis of this written paper, to identify some questions that you can ask the students to really see whether they wrote the paper. So give me the questions, and then if there's of course an oral communication as well. It can be quite brief, can be quite fast. Say, help me in identifying whether the students really wrote it and understands it. This is a way of meta use in order to help the students, but I think it's impossible. You can a little bit think about it, because some of these AI tools are very in the way they write things. They're very
official, bombastic, I guess.
Bombastic, yeah, all this, So you can maybe think about it, but there's no really 100% tool that identifies it.
Yeah, my personal experience, I used to expect students to write perfect English, spelling and grammar, but I'm now looking at the other side. If I see a grammatical error, then that's good. So I know that the student is doing their work.
So they will use AI and then put some arrows.
Well, that's too much work. I don't think so. The more question, hold on. Suryani, yes. The next after Suryani is Nancy. Nancy, I think she's asking, how friendly user is your app from other AIs? I got a feeling that she's referring to this articulate. I'm not really sure about this question actually. The other one is the cost of the application. Maybe I want to add to this question from Nancy to both Armin and Carlos. When Carlos was discussing about the tools, one of the trends that we are seeing, there are two things that I can notice. Most of the tools are not free. I mean, you can use the trial version, but the actual cost is huge. HeyGen, the Colossian, and so on. That's one. Second, the cost of these AI tools, because the back end is very costly. So if you connect to any of the language model, ChatGPT is huge. You can go for the open source LLM, like what's the one from Meta? I forgot. You can host it yourself, but Llama, yeah, but still require a huge infrastructure investment at the back end. So I guess the question is, are we creating an AI divide from the educator point of view? Those that do not have access to this tool then will be left behind. Carlos, I mean.
I totally agree. I think this is a danger, and this is something that would happen. And also the dependence on these tools. No, right now we are dependent on the cloud for having seminars like this. No, and the providers can charge more money, and we still will need to pay it. So in the same way as the Google Drive and Microsoft 366 costs have improved, increased a lot, no, and we are dependent on it. Same thing can happen there. Also, it's a question of sovereignty, no? So we're depending on these tools. Are the different countries independent in choosing what they want? Do they have the technology there in order to be, as a country, sovereign on it? So there are enormous questions there, of course, definitely, which can be a big problem.
Thanks, Carlos. Amin, anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, of course, the costs add also to another kind of gap between rich and poor. So this myth that the promise that it levels the playground is also in terms of financial resources is also not true, because indeed these tools cost something. I mean, I do have to say, however, that these free trials, it goes some way at least. So at least you can already, I think, get into a habit and get to play around with it. And from my personal experience, that is something that I can recommend. So that is in terms of this, the cost question that was also part of this.
I just want to share our experience with MOOC. I think Razia and the rest from Malaysia can relate to this. So MOOC, once upon a time, we hosted through the Open Learning platform from Australia. And in the beginning, it was FOC, free of charge. But when the number of courses moved from Malaysia reached around 100, if I'm not mistaken, that they say, oops, next year you have to pay the hosting fee. And when you have that many courses in Open Learning, then I'm not using the word blackmail, but rather than starting all over again, then you pay the service provider. And when Nurul mentioned about Articulate, it's the same thing, because everything is hosted in the cloud. The moment you decide not to continue with their service, they say, oops, sorry, you don't have access to the content anymore. The best that you can do is to view. I say that is a normal practice from the this commercial entity point of view, but there is one thing that a university have to decide whether you want to do it from an open source perspective, Moodle and so on, or yeah, of course they are pro and con. I'm not saying one is better than another. So that's the trick used by the commercial partners in order to hook you for as long as possible. All right, let's move on. There's one question, I think from Abbas. Where is it? Abbas. How should we correctly position AI in increasing the student capacity in learning? Is it for the lots and the HOTS? So low order thinking skill and higher order thinking skill. Abbas, correct or not? I think so. So is it beneficial for lots or is it beneficial for HOTS or both? I mean, I think this is your domain.
Yeah, I'm thinking a little bit myself. Of course, the whole idea, let's say, look at the allegory with the pocket calculator, is to aim towards and promote HOTS, the higher order thinking skills. And the maybe a good news is that these higher order thinking skills become more important, not less important, in order to work well with AI. So the university is actually, has another justification to promote what they're promoting all along, namely this higher order thinking skills. And there is, of course, the notion, you just asked it yourself, will we lose our jobs? Some jobs will be lost. And but maybe not necessarily the university jobs, because people needed not only to know which button to press. That's not so important, because the buttons will change, but the higher order thinking skills, they will remain, and they will remain in the human hands or in the human brains a little bit longer. And you need those in order to productively work with AI. So the problem is, or the other question is, what's the relationship between the low order thinking skills, the hands-on skills, and these higher order thinking skills? It's also an illusion to say, let's just promote higher order thinking skills and let's forget about the rest. That's not true. That's exactly this interesting relationship between theory and practice, and knowledge and practice, that I was talking about in my slides, that basically there is a relationship. You cannot knit without wool. So you also need to have some domain knowledge and some more descriptive knowledge. Otherwise, you also cannot think. It's not just some meta competencies, but it's really very bound to a context. So you are typically a domain expert. And then you learn the facts, and then you learn how to think like an expert in that domain. And you're being socialized as an expert in computer science or in education or in you name it. Yeah? And this is kind of the idea, is that in the end of a university education, you should be able to participate in the discourse within that domain as an expert. And you know how then people of that domain argue, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the idea here. So it's a bit more complex, but basically, higher order thinking skills building on domain knowledge. Yeah.
All right, I totally agree. And what I would like to add, I think you need to be strong in your fundamentals, then you can benefit from using AI tool. So the danger now, if a student skip the fundamental part and jump straight away to using these AI tools, then it will happen like you mentioned, using calculator and skip the fundamentals. What else we have from the chat box? Ethical consideration when implementing AI in education, or is there already existing guideline? You mentioned about EU. Is it already put forward for legislation? Carlos?
I think there was Carlos, actually.
No, I think there's the AI Act in Europe, no? So this can help also in this direction. And there are also some UNESCO guidelines there. But I think a lot of work needs to be done yet. Not everything is solved.
But I think there are two things about ethics. Ethics is not necessarily illegal. So how to enforce ethics? I mean, it's not illegal to do something, but it might be unethical to do it. So the legal part, yes, you can cover it in any acts, but when it comes to ethicality, that's a bit difficult. The best way is self-governed, but that never works. What Armin mentioned just now is beautiful. You need to know what you can use AI for and so on, but I would say most of the time, students will skip that part and straight away use AI tools. So we are looking at two perspectives, how to come up with some sort of policies, rules at university level to say what the student can use it for, but not being too restrictive so that they miss the opportunity of using this AI tool. And to be honest, from our side, so far there is no conclusion about that. I think it's a work in progress.
It is, and there is no good answer yet, actually. That has to be really, especially now when it comes to plagiarism and such, there is no good answer. Because I was for some time thinking, well, we are very project oriented. So students are doing projects and doing designs and so on. But actually, that's also nicely supported by AI, not just essay writing or so. So you really might be going back to having oral examinations and such, or yeah, we will be moving forward towards teaching them how to use AI, warning them about plagiarism, yeah, having additional ways of examining people. That is then more cumbersome in the end. Yeah? So there is no good answer yet to that, I have to say. Yeah?
Maybe less efforts should go to teaching and more to assessing, for us, for
Yeah.
professors.
Yeah.
To
Well,
devote more
why not
time.
everything for the AI and we can do something else? Like we keep our job, but I guess we become the facilitator and let this AI do all our job. Time check 4:44, so 6 minutes to 4:50. So we have another 6 minutes. Please, everybody, you have any question? This is a very good opportunity to ask these two experts, Armin and Carlos. Please post your question in the chat box, or you can ask to unmute. And 4:50, then we try to wrap up the session. So time flies. A few more things from the chat box. Nurul shared the costing for Articulate. I believe that is in Australian dollar or USD actually. So the question is, if the university want us to use this tool, are they providing the funding for this? I have no idea, Nurul. I cannot answer for. So maybe I think we have someone from MQA. Razia is busy, I guess. Someone shared about the guideline at ASEAN level for responsible AI. So thank you very much. So that is a guideline. Okay, that's one question. How do we effectively micro-learn physical fitness, like going to the gym?
Let me know when you know it, because I also need some fitness. No, but but of course there are really interesting tools in the whole community out there. Actually, that's the interesting thing, that there is a community of learners created just by monitoring tools. I recently bought myself a smartwatch just to, provide me with feedback about how I'm doing, how eagerly I'm working out, and so on and so forth. And there are people that are very much into it. They are self-monitoring extremely. I do not believe that that is the full solution, but that can be a piece of the puzzle. Why is it not the full solution? Because the monitoring itself doesn't push you further and doesn't, provide you with guidance of what to do. And the way it feeds back can be perceived also differently from person to person. So that's not necessarily enough, but at least it's a first step. And that's kind of like a part of the micro-learning thing. And of course, there are lots of apps out there that monitor your diet and your training, and can give you also advice on what would be good training for you. I don't know why, but I'm getting a lots of advertisements for that. Maybe they know that I have a problem. I guess I'm in some register for people who need to lose weight. So I get a lot of that.
I think maybe there is a misconception. MOOC was purely online, but micro credential can be of different mode. It can be purely face-to-face, it can be purely online, or it can be a hybrid. So something that require kinesthetic or physical element, that it has to be either hybrid or face-to-face. I don't think you can do fitness training purely online. Theoretically, yes, but not physically. I mean, allow me to share the Microcasa website to the participant. Hold on while we have these few more minutes. So if you go to the Microcasa website, maybe what you are interested is to look at the courses planned under this project by the partners from the Southeast Asia universities. So from UNIMAS, we are planning to have 6 courses, and the target group is the manager at the Internet Center in Malaysia, now known as NADI. USM will have a few courses on care for stroke survivors. UB will have 3 micro courses or micro credential on internet or network. Unstrat, we have one, and Ateneo plus UP, they are combining for the following micro courses. So what you can do, if you visit the website, you click on any of the micro credential and you will get the details. The targeted participant will be decided by each of the partners, so more information will come soon. I think tentatively the timeline to offer these courses is towards the end of this year and early next year. So at the moment, all the partners are currently in the midst of designing the content, co-creation with the European partners as well. Anything you want to add for the website? In the rest,
Jari, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much for pointing that out,
Yep.
to capture that. That's very good. Yeah, so maybe you can explore that a little bit, and maybe can I remind people again that next week, same day, same time, we'll be having webinar number 2, managing micro credentials. And if you do not find the flyers in your respective social media streams and such, where we have advertised for this one as well, you'll find the connection and the way to register for that certainly also on our webpage, don't we?
And in last question to these two gentlemen, Prof. Armin and Prof. Carlos, let me scan the chat box.
No, very interesting development. No? The Ministry of Higher Education in Malaysia has subscribed to Google services, including Google Gemini. So, yeah, some countries are.
Yeah, but
moving.
I probably ask Mohi, why Gemini? Why not OpenAI? I guess the cost is too much. Well, that's a strategic move. The 3 big players, ChatGPT, Gemini, and from Microsoft, Copilot. Yep, interesting. So we'll wait for the details. So with that, we have another 9 minutes. Let me share the feedback form. So this is what we will do. Let me share again the screen. While we are sharing this information, maybe the two of you would like to conclude. Armin, why don't you, sorry, Carlos, you start first, and then Armin can wrap up. Carlos, please, any last word?
My last words, maybe I put up my slide deck again.
All right, let me stop sharing. Sorry, Carlos. Yep, please.
Yeah, let me put this up, which is just nothing new, but I think it's good to remember well, no, that AI may help you externally, even improve your prompts. It is auto improvement, no, but it might also hallucinate. So you always have to be in control, you and your students, everybody. So you have to be very aware of not believing everything and critically assessing all the responses. You have to be, the humankind has to be in control. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Carlos. We will share Carlos' slide after this, don't worry. That is in Penang, Carlos, the last line, was it?
That was it, yes.
Yeah, all right. Armin, let me share my screen, but while I'll do that, why don't you wrap up the session?
Yeah, well, I can only say thank you, Terima kasih, yeah, so for your interest. I hope we gave you some pointers, some things to think about, maybe even some ideas for what to do, how to act upon it, and to explore AI. Also explore our study counseling course and think about the capacity or the skills that you may want to build out on, for study counseling and such, to advise students on what micro courses to take. Check out our website, microcasa.eu, where you can find the micro courses that we are launching in Southeast Asia, from the Southeast Asian partners. And yeah, come again next week. It was really a pleasure. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions and your participation. I thought it was very rewarding and motivating also for our side, I would say. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much, Armin. Before we see the feedback form, one last activity, which is compulsory for any session. Can we have a group photo? So if you have your webcam, can you switch it on? We'll take a few photos and we'll keep it. And this is for the purpose of reporting. So everybody, can you switch on your webcam? And I think we have to do this a few times.
Oh, and people are asking about the feedback form, Johari. Maybe while people are switching on, you also wanna share the link to the.
I'm forcing them to do the group photo first, and after this, I will share
All right.
the feedback.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You captured it, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will share the carrot after this. The rest, don't be shy.
Oh, it's so good to see you all. That's wonderful. Really nice.
All right. I will do the screenshot. Let me get ready my Word document to put all these images.
Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing.
I'm not sure how many pages we have to go through because we have 185. Let me try to fit as many as possible. A large gallery. Okay. Oh my God. That doesn't work. Hold on. Together mode. Okay. Large gallery. That's good. Okay. Hold on. Someone is snapping. That's good. Hold on. Give me a few seconds for everybody to come in. It's still dynamic. How large is large actually? All right, get ready, everyone. 1, 2, 3, smile. Don't go away. Let me try again. I don't think we capture everybody, but that's all right. One more time. 1, 2, 3. That's good. And one last one. 3 is the rules. And what's this one? Big smile. Yep. All right, thank you very much. So as a reward, let me share the feedback form. Let me show the screen and I will share the link as well. So this is the feedback form. And once you fill in this feedback form, then we will try to send you the e-certificate. So just to wrap up, thank you very much to everybody for joining this session.
Maybe we can also share the link in the chat.
I'm trying to see how, where is the chat box? Where is the chat box? Oh my God.
I can also try to type
I'm switching to, oops, sorry about that. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. Hold on. Can you do that? I mean,
I needed to have the link. Then I can type it also. It's also fine. Here you go.
I published
Isabel
it
has it.
Yeah.
Isabel caught it. Thank you, Isabel.
Okay, thanks, Isabel. So it's in the chat box. So please fill in the feedback form. So last housekeeping, thank you very much to every participant, all participants for your attendance today. Great to see all of you. And as Armin mentioned, we have another session next week, 4th of July. Sound familiar actually. Is that the Independence Day? Yeah. No holiday for us, unfortunately. So it's only for the Americans. Same time for all the countries involved, morning in EU and 2 p.m. in Indonesia and 3 p.m. in Malaysia and the Philippines. And we will send you a few things, the slide, the e-certificate, and also what else that we promise, recording of the session. And both will be available through the Microcasa website and also through your registered email. With that, thank you very much, everybody. So 3 minutes before 5 o'clock. So I will maintain this link until 5 p.m. In any case, thank you very much. Have a good day and have a good weekend. TGIF. So this is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh my God, I forgot to share the link. This is the one. Isabel, we wait a few more minutes until they manage to get the link, and we can send them through email as well. Thanks, Isabel. One more minute, I guess. Stop sharing. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, the link is in the chat box. Thank you, everyone. Yep. Take care. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Those from the
this is time to say goodbye, I guess.
Yep, exactly 5 p.m. here. Thank you very much to all the Macrocasa, Amin, Carlos, and the rest. Thanks, Isabel. I guess this is goodbye. Anything we communicate through the WhatsApp group. All right, thanks everybody.
Okay.
I'm leaving now. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.